Well, hi there, everyone. And as always, a big shout out to my beautiful heavenly wife, Pam. This is my podcast, Love Letters to Pam, the Jack Church Show. But you may also be getting one of those rare twofers where you're watching on YouTube as well. And I'm deep in the woods for this particular program. Needed to get away. Had kind of a tough week, a long week. But don't we all have those from time to time? Sure we do. But I had a couple of thoughts that I wanted to talk with you about. First of all, I've heard from several of you lately who have said that you've had some tough days. We all have them. And sometimes you say things that to people who are not in your situation or my situation, they take it the wrong way. Maybe they're offended by what you said. And you know what? That's going to happen from time to time. That happens in life in general, doesn't it? And case in point is me. I've said a couple of things lately that on the outside looking in, somebody might go, well, that wasn't terribly nice. Or maybe not nice would be the word, but maybe you weren't thinking about the other person's feelings very much. And I want to tell you, I'm the type person, though, that when I do something like that, my immediate response is to apologize. No matter if I think I'm right or wrong, I just go, you're right, I'm so sorry. I really, really am. I'm even the type person that if I post something on social media and it starts to get 2 or 3 negative comments, I immediately just delete the post. I go, uh-oh, don't want to do that. I guess you could say I don't like confrontation. In fact, Pam used to oftentimes tell me, she'd go, you really shouldn't back down sometimes. Because as sweet as she was, she could hold her ground pretty doggone well. Me, on the other hand, some might interpret it, oh, you're being a wimp. I don't know. Again, I just want people to be happy. And it's funny, in church earlier today, before I went out to do some hiking, I was talking about how sometimes we can live in fear of what others think about what we do and what we say. And then how many times we really shouldn't live in fear like that. And the more I started thinking about it, I thought, yeah, they're right. Because nobody knows what you're going through. It's like that contemporary Christian song for King and Country sings, God only knows. And in our cases, God does only know whatever our loss may be. So I guess what I'm saying is, don't be so bashful about expressing your feelings. You're entitled. You've gone through something terrible. If somebody takes it the wrong way, give them some grace because they don't understand where you're at. I've often heard, too, someone with that saying of, just meet me where you are. And I think sometimes that's all we're asking people to do is just meet us where we are. And yes, you're going to have friends and co-workers and relatives and such who grow tired of sometimes you're seeming to be sad or down and not always chipper and having the greatest outlook on life, and you may say some things that don't sound that terrific. Well, it's okay. It really is. We have to be gentle with ourselves. Now, some might say, well, it's been a year, it's been 2 years, it's been 3 years. Well, I've done a program before. There is no timeline on grief. Does it get better over time? It does. I've stressed that. It gets a little better. I'm still not convinced it's going to be great. I don't know, because we've had it. We've had greatness, haven't we? Those of us who've lost that special someone, we had it about the best as we could ever imagine. Or at least in our minds, we just remember all the great times. And that's okay. Good memories are so much better. And speaking of memories, sometimes when it comes to those special dates and such, I've told you how I try and do different things to lift my spirits. One in particular, and again, I don't tell you these things to for you to go, oh, great job. Oh, that's so wonderful you did that. It was more about just trying to make the day a little better for me. And that may sound a little bit selfish while also blessing some others. The example was we just passed Valentine's Day, and I was talking to a fellow widower of mine, and we agreed Valentine's Day may actually be one of the hardest holidays because that's the day shared between two lovers. And when you lose your lover, well, Valentine's Day can be really painful. So this Valentine's Day, I went down to the local Chick-fil-A, not a place that Pam and I ever frequented very much, but people in this part of the world seem to love it. And I bought a bunch of gift cards, and I put together a little letter with a picture of me and Pam, and I said, sadly, I lost my Valentine, but the good news is you get to be my Valentine this year. Now, I wasn't there to hand them out. I got the management to do it. They handed out the letter and the gift cards. Haven't heard from anybody, didn't expect to hear from anybody. That wasn't the point. The point was I felt a lot better about Valentine's Day because I did a little something. But again, all we can do is just keep trying the best we can with what we have. And sometimes when we say and do things that people on the outside are looking at and they shake their heads, we then become fearful of expressing our feelings in the future and we pull back. And we really shouldn't. That's not going to be really healthy. So I guess what I'm saying is, yeah, you may say some things that were not the best words, or the best choice of words, the best way to express it, but it's okay. We've all had what many of us would consider the worst thing ever to happen in our lives when we lost our loved one. All this other stuff, it's pretty minor, isn't it? It really is. That's about it. This was a pretty short message today. Just kind of had to get that off my chest as well. And I'm going to try and take my own advice as well. When I do express an opinion, and maybe it's not the most popular one, I'm going to try and not always just take it back and go, oh, my bad, I'm sorry, didn't mean that. Because let's face it, nobody in this world is going to agree with anybody and everybody about everything. There are people that will watch this podcast, this YouTube video, and they'll disagree with it, and that's fine. Heck, we can't agree on which sports teams we like. So sometimes, yeah, we're going to miss the mark on an opinion. It may not be shared by everyone. Again, thank you again for checking in. I do hope that you're doing well. I know it's tough, but we'll continue to move along together through this journey of grief and loss. And I also invite you to keep asking folks to check out the podcast from time to time. Or if they want to, they can check in on the YouTube channel. I don't post as much there, though. That, of course, is Traveling with Jack and Pam. And, of course, you know what the podcast is called. Love Letters to Pam, the Jack Church Show. And as we always say, Pam, I miss you so much, but I will love you forever and always. Love, Jack.